Postal 3 is a game where it actively gets worse the more you play. It's the most boring, glitchy, and unfunny game I have ever played. Everything good about it was cut short, and everything bad about it was drawn out for too long. I hope you're ready for a long video, because I have a lot to say about this game. The game starts by mourning Champ. This game is a pretty shitty way to honor his death, but okay. We learned that the Postal Dude,
yeah, I hate that fucking name,
is no longer voiced by Rick Hunter and is now voiced by Corey Cruz. That's fine. I actually like Corey's voice work here. After a brief intro, we're thrown on the bridge as a tutorial level, and this is where the game's flaws start showing. So the game spawns you on the bridge and tells you how to move around, and then they throw you into another cutscene immediately after that. They do this a lot, so get used to seeing these cutscenes. So the UN is now here for some reason, and they just begin shooting at the guy who is clearly not a zombie. The game tells you how to use cover, and when you do get into cover, they just fucking throw you into another goddamn cutscene. So the soldiers get eaten by zombies, and now it's time to learn how to vault, and you'll never use this ability again. And you know what happens after that? That's right, you get thrown into another goddamn cutscene. They want you to grab some grenades from this box with a big red arrow on it, instead of just telling you in a little pop-up screen like they did after the cutscene. Okay. So I try to pick up the grenades, and since this is a Source game, I assume the interact button is E, but it's F. They're not going to tell you a lot of things in this game. So you walk forward, and there's another unnecessary cutscene, and it's not even funny. They just want you to throw grenades at zombies, and they make terrible jokes and shit. The grenade system is fine. You use the alt fire to aim and press primary fire to throw. That just confuses me sometimes. But don't worry, you'll never use grenades again. The game shows you how to use gasoline, and you'll never use that again either, and pepper spray. You're never using any of these weapons again. Then the commander shows up, tells me not to push a button, and then leaves. I ignore him and push the button. Now you're in Catharsis, and since the dude needs money for gas, even though he picked up some fucking gas during the tutorial, not 5 minutes ago, he gets hired by Ron Jeremy to clean up his fucking sex shop. I'm not even sure if I can show this on YouTube, so I'll just give you the rundown. You vacuum out Kleenex until hockey moms appear, and then you shoot the Kleenex at moms to make them puke and leave. Anyways, I experienced my first bug here. One of the moms gets stuck just kind of laying down. I don't know if I killed her or she got stuck in a ragdoll, but I couldn't get her to leave, so I had to restart this game and do everything again. And then after that, I think I either died or the game crashed. Either way, I had to restart again. So after vacuuming some more Kleenex and chasing away more hockey moms, Ron says he can't fucking pay me anyways. So he lets me keep the vacuum that I'm never gonna fucking use again. Other than being forced to by the game. One thing I have to mention is that the music in this game is fucking loud. It tends to just blast in your ears at max volume, and it probably bursted an eardrum playing this game. Anyways, the Postal Dude gets some work from some hippie telling him to catch HIV-infected cats with some catnip. It's in a little spray bottle, and tells me not to snort it using alt fire. Unfortunately, if one of the cats gets on you and starts biting your face off, you have to do this quick time event that involves pressing the alt fire and fire buttons. And you end up like just snorting the catnip anyways. I don't know why they couldn't have just had me mashing F or E, but okay. After catching some cats, the Mexican sushi guys get angry at me for catching their local produce and decide to just shoot me. I found this glitch where the world would just stop rendering if I hid behind this fence. I just thought it was kind of funny. This mission is pretty easy since the enemy AI is complete dog shit. The enemies with guns walk around mindlessly until they see you, and then when they see you, they just kind of look at you and barely shoot you. And the ones with like melee weapons just kind of like walk at you. Kind of just walk at you. You have to be standing complete still for them to catch up to you. I pick up a machete while fighting the sushi guys, and it's just kind of really inconsistent. The hit register is atrocious, just like Team Fortress 2, and the damage is really locational. Like, you could like be slashing at them forever, and then they'll like just shrug off, and then other times you'll just swing at their head and they'll instantly fucking die. The throw is also atrocious now because like it goes at 1 foot per second. It's just really slow now. It's 4 out of 10. It's alright. I finally complete the mission, but the cat guy was arrested, so now I can't get paid. Who would have guessed? The game tells me that the mayor is now also the pawn shop owner for no reason, and then Vince calls me telling me to protect the head postal babe Jennifer Walcott. I skip this cutscene because I'm bored, and then the game punishes me by throwing me into another cutscene. The game tells me to use a taser to incapacitate all the Hakimons attacking Jennifer, but since I skipped the cutscene, I just killed them all, because I didn't know how to incapacitate them. That one's kinda on me. So the cops arrive after that, and now they're just kinda like walking around aimlessly, like usual, like all the other enemies in this goddamn game. So I kill 15 Hakimons, and then the game tells me to fight off 10 cops even though I've already killed like millions of them. Like, I don't know why they couldn't have just added in 2 objectives at the same time and I could have just completed the cop one and then the Hakimon one, or both of them at the same goddamn time. Fuck you, game. Jennifer lets me keep the taser and the shovel, and the shovel's alright, I use it sometimes, and the taser I never use again. The postal dude now decides to get a payday loan, except the bank is being robbed by PETA, and now I have to take a side between cops and hippies, and I decide to kill them all because this is a postal game and I want to go postal. After 30 minutes of shooting mindless enemies, a helicopter shows up and I have to fucking Google how to fucking defeat it because shooting it did no damage. And apparently I had to go up to the top floor and begin shooting at its tail? Well, I killed the helicopter anyways, and then it tells me to kill the PETA leader, because I couldn't have done that before I shot the helicopter, and it tells me to kill a badger man, and both of these I could have killed before the helicopter. And then the game tells me to fuck off because I need to be a good person in Postal 3, instead of, you know, going postal, which is in the name of the game. Anyways, the combat music presents into the next cutscene that explains the karma system.
Wanna be like Mr. Bungle? Yeah, that bad sucks.
And I skipped that cutscene because the karma system is boring, and this is Postal 3, not Be a Good Person Simulator 19. And then, after that, I go to the hippie compound, even though I killed all their members in the previous mission. I'm just realizing that this game has a terrible plot now through reading the script. Anyways, I meet their leader, and he talks like Sideshow Bob from The Simpsons for some reason.
Hey pal, nice to see you. Ready to pick up some apples? It doesn't pay for shit, but it builds character, haha.
No, that's German for the Bart. The.
No one who speaks German could be an evil man.
Oh no. After that, the game tells me to collect 1,000 apples or something and put them in a blue bin and to not turn off the game, in anger. Joke's on you, I was already planning to do that after this. Anyways, I never get to collect all these apples because Osama bin Laden here for some reason and he decides to kill everyone. He makes a really bad joke about soup and kitchens.
I'll be back at the soup kitchen. Today is minestrone day, and you know how the customers get if I open late. See ya!
And then he runs away. The hippies are getting destroyed by the terrorists and I have to step in and help. And then the game shows me how to throw beehives and I never equip them ever again. Anyways, the game throws me back in immediately. And then it just my ears just get immediately destroyed because the music is just so fucking loud. And there isn't like a sound slider for like music, so I have to just fucking deal with it. It's just good music though, it's good music. It's too loud though. After I'm done killing terrorists, Al gives me the beehives that I never equipped. He forgets to pay me, so I have to look somewhere else. Champ attacks some random hobo, so I take him to the local dog trainer. But then the Mexican sushi guys come back just so Akela can have a mission to show off their good music taste again.
Somebody put a bullet in a transfer.
Champ sits there like a moron while I point my laser pin at the enemy, which is supposed to direct him to said enemy, but he just doesn't fucking do it, so I just equip my gun and kill all the enemies. Because that's just more efficient and fun. You shoot 20 more of these guys and then you get out of there. This game's just so fucking boring, and I don't know why I'm making a video on it. Calming music plays while Champ destroys whatever's left of this random hobo's crotch again. The police are mildly annoyed at this and take him to the euthanization center. So Al appears because he's like, of course, he's PETA, so he wants to save Champ. And then he tells me to get a job at a Segway dealership. Some frat boys are using the Segways to run over innocent pedestrians, and Al doesn't like that they didn't pay for these Segways. My hopes of this mission being quick and easy were quickly dashed when I realized that you couldn't use the Segways that are clearly out of place. No matter, I love running back and forth grabbing each individual Segway with no way to grab them all at once and finish this game quickly. At least they do a funny ragdoll when you shoot them. After falling asleep 15 times, I finally get the last Segway and make it back to the shop. Unfortunately, my hopes of finally being done with this game were shattered when Al pays me with food stamps. Then the game jump scares me because this game loves to torture you. Mayor Ron is giving a speech on the Malaysian sex slave trade, and Uncle Dave tells me to meet him in City Hall. Ron wants me to escort his personal 40-year-old Malaysian slave boy out of the City Hall so he doesn't look like a big fat hypocrite like all politicians. Kill all the paparazzi because that's the only enjoyment I get out of this game, and then I meet their boss, and he takes a photo of the little slave boy and he tries to escape, but the door is locked and I instantly eviscerate him. Now, since the door is locked, you would think I would have to find another way around, right? Wrong. Apparently the door is unlocked for me now, even though it's locked for the paparazzi boss. So I spend 15 minutes walking around aimlessly until I have to look up a YouTube tutorial, and then this game is ass. I don't know why I'm playing it. Slave boy escapes and causes a minor traffic accident. Ron is minorly annoyed that I killed all the paparazzi. I do not care. Ron's hot secretary is secretly a spy and tells me to go to the cosmetics lab to save Champ. The mission is pretty much a copy-paste of the dog training mission, except you have to open cages to free trapped animals, even though you're here to save Champ. Okay. So to open the cages, you need to just interact with them using the F key. But in the cutscene, the ecologists were smacking them with melee weapons, so I assumed I could break the glass using my melee weapons. And this wasn't the case, so I ended up just killing a random monkey with my shovel. After smacking too much, which caused my game to promptly crash on me for the first time, surprisingly. So I open all the cages and then another large door opens and then I just walk in. And then I find a guy leading a monkey around with a laser pen like Champ. And then the game tells me to kill him, so I do, and the boss fight is piss easy. And then I find Champ, and then we release several animals out into the public society to cause chaos, probably. Cool. Champ attacks another guy, and I get a call from Uncle Dave who wants me to help terrorists. I skip the cutscene because I don't want to hear any more of that, and then now we have to kill Randy Jones's subway gang, instead of just immediately delivering the toys to Crotchy's tossed salad. Wow. Either because I just skipped the cutscene or the game just not fucking telling me, I have to aimlessly drive around looking for Crotchy's tossed salad because I assume it's a different restaurant, but it's not. Apparently it's in the mall, and I don't even understand why they didn't just give you a map or something, or tell you where to go in like the splash screen. Apparently nerds want the dolls, and now I have to fight off nerds while trying to figure out where to go, so I have to look it up again for the second fucking time. After I deliver the dolls, Uncle Dave calls and asks me to get Viagra from Mexico for some reason. When I get to Mexico, the game tells me to explore the fucking town to find Viagra because they ran out of budget for the big green arrows. Not like they use them, ever, after the tutorial. Lucky for me, I found the pharmacy immediately, so I don't have to play this game any longer than I should. Pharmacist tells me to fuck off because I don't have any pesos. Some guy tells me to launch drug footballs over the fence because it gives me money or something. Since the box of footballs was placed by the border in the cutscene, I assumed that that's where they would be in the gameplay. So in my rush to get this over with, I completely missed the box of footballs right in front of my feet. So I missed 5 minutes fucking around until I realized that I'm an idiot and that the footballs were in front of the pharmacy the whole damn time. I shoot footballs for about 5 seconds until Mayor Ron orders the DEA to kill me. The game spawns a fuck ton of DEA, and I panic for all of 2 seconds until I realize that the enemy AI completely sucks and I can just have fun shooting basically lifeless dummies. Whatever fun I was having was cut short by the dude getting blackout drunk and arrested by the DEA. Now I'm in jail and Al is here for some reason and I have to escort him out of here, but he just disappears if you go away for too long, so I can't just rush through the entire map. The game even tells me this, so I think it's a bug they didn't bother to patch. Kill all the cop, and then the dude decides that he'll need a disguise. And this is where the worst part of the game starts. The Crotchy boss fight. So the dude arrives at Crotchy's tossed salad and asks for the costume politely, but Crotchy doesn't really want to hand it over, so I get to fight him, along with the nerd army. This is where the problem begins. Whenever an enemy gets too close, the postal dude will shove them when you press the fire key. He also does this while you're still firing your gun. In earlier fights, this wasn't really an issue since the areas were pretty big and I usually had someone to distract the enemies. But not this time. Since the infinitely respawning nerds are unarmed most of the time, they tend to walk right into my line of fire and make me shove them. This wouldn't be too much of an issue if Crotchy was easier to kill like the other bosses, but no, this fucking bitch runs around like a coward and has a ludicrous amount of health. So whenever I have the opportunity to deal a large amount of damage to him, the nerds just come in and make me shove him, which lets Crotchy escape again. I feel like this game was a challenge to create increasingly shittier and shittier mechanics and missions, and this fight is proof of that shit.
Obviously the crotch man forgot how this tango went down in the last game.
After that slog, you go to a gay rodeo and vacuum shit until the ecotologist and police show up. And now I have to pick a side again, so I just kill everyone because that's boring. So now a rhino has 500 pounds of meth in its system, so I have to lead it around and make it run into walls, except it has awful pathfinding and I don't know when it's charging, so I don't know when it's gonna damage itself. So I end up walking around aimlessly for 30 minutes. Eventually the rhino dies and the mayor can't pay me, and then Randy Jones says something that may have plot relevance later. The dude walks around until he finds some champ shit, so now I have to rescue him from Mexican sushi guys in a sewer. I get jump scared by the music when I hit this random hobo with my shovel.
I bet you thought you weren't going to die today. Surprise!
I kill all the sushi guys and find Champ. The game tells me to escort him, but I learned that I could just speed through without him, unlike the previous mission. I totally leave with Champ, and Uncle Dave calls me for some plutonium, so I just piss in a jar, because that's probably what plutonium looks like. Dave hires me to run some visuals for the mayor's speech, and I play a sex tape accidentally because probably something Andy said. Everyone turns against each other because they decide that that's a good idea until security shows up and they team up again for some reason. I ended up shooting everyone because that's just more fun than this entire game. Dave, Osama, and Ron get their dicks torn off by hockey mobs after they try to consume plutonium, which is actually my piss. Remember that. The game tells me to play the good path next time. I try to get into heaven, they reject me, and send me to hell where I'm forced to play this game endlessly for the rest of time. This game fucking sucks. The bugs and glitches don't kill you, the boredom will. I don't see how anyone can actually genuinely enjoy this game unless they're fucking masochists. I'm not even sure masochists would enjoy this because this isn't really pleasurable pain. Please don't play this game. It just sucks.